John.
Tim, I appreciate that. I just want to address that a little bit, and I think one of the things I love about LGs is a very modest guy. But I think there's more talk out there about unions being mad at this administration than there are unions that are mad at the administration. So just as an example, I guarantee you the hotel workers are not mad at this administration, because one of the themes of this administration in a lot of areas where regular people feel that there are a lot of powerful forces that are not watching out for them, that they don't have a seat at the table, Paul Patrick and Tim Murray are their voice at that table. I can tell you just this week, both the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor were in Plymouth on the building trades, Mass Building Trades Convention. They were both greeted with standing ovations. Not because it's true that there's 30 and 40% unemployment in many of these unions, but they understand this administration has been going to bat in remarkably difficult times. I can tell you the SEIU, I can tell you the carpenters, I can tell you the laborers, the telephone workers. These are not places where you're finding anybody in the union movement that's not mad, that is mad at this administration. What is clearly true, what this reporter acknowledges, the police unions are. But I mean, I'll be straight about it. It's about Quinville, it's about flaggers. And the administration's earned their lack of support because we've confronted issues for a long, long time that have been put aside. There are some discussions around some of the locals that are in the consolidation, as Tim mentioned, but that consolidation is not done. The legislation allowed the administration to, with the stroke of a pen, eliminate all those unions. That was the authority given to them. But they've sat at the table for months, and those negotiations continue. Of course, you know, when you're in a workplace, all the rumors go around. You're going to get it. This is going to happen. All this stuff. But I think if that administration that falls through, there's also some discussion among some folks in the teachers' unions because of the education reform that's passed. But I also think that and had a chance to plug in with some of this stuff, that as that bill gets finalized in its implementation over the next couple of months, you will find that the teachers' unions, first of all, they will tell you they've been at the table in this discussion, happy with the vast majority of the issues. There's a couple issues that are left that are still being worked through. So for those of you who are like me, who consider yourself pro-labor, you can be proudly pro-labor and pro-Patrick Murray, because this administration, you should understand also, Massachusetts is the only state in the nation that has had an increase in the number of unionized workers for 2 consecutive years. An increase. It's been decades since that's been happening. Nationally, the AFL-CIO is pushing for card check legislation, the Employee Free Choice Act. We have it here. It's one of the first things this administration did. The public employees, majority of the members of a workplace sign a card, they have a right to have a union. That's an administration. Healthcare, which is a national issue for the AFL-CIO, is implemented here. So I think what you see is there's some folks, and I think if you really dig into it, it starts with the police unions, who are understandably and admittedly not happy. But if you go past that, you'll find a few unions that are reserving their decision until they see how some things are done, and then you go below that. The vast majority of labor appreciates there are more unionized workers, appreciates card check legislation, appreciates the administration just announced project labor agreements.
Whoops.
Just recently. So the one thing I want you to know, because we all hear it, and as active Democrats, it makes you uncomfortable at times when unions are upset. But I urge you to really take a look at this. There is no inconsistency between pro-labor and pro-Patrick Murray, and you'll find if you dig through these unions, the vast majority of them are enthusiastic supporters, and Lieutenant Governor is an important reason why that's true.